So getting started in 2013, that's when we registered the company on our college campus as college students. We actually got our product in stores. It took about 3 years, right? So after 3 years, we finally launched and got our first commercial account.
Welcome to the Wealth Generator Podcast with your host, Dorian Carter. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited today to talk more about wealth building. And, we bring some of the top people in the world that's doing business and showing you various ways to do wealth. I am CEO of On Point Partners and On Point Commercial. We are a commercial real estate firm that focuses on building wealth. So we don't like to just look at real estate though. We want to talk and tell our folks about various ways to do it. And today I'm so excited to have Mr. Michael Baptiste. Michael, how you doing today?
Dorian, I'm doing excellent, sir. How about yourself? How are you today?
I am great. So we'll talk a little bit about what you do. So for my audience, tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
Absolutely. So I'd rather be transparent and let you know, unlike most people who start off with rich parents and successful families and all of those people that just kind of pass the wealth down, I was actually born to a single mother, a teenage mother in the inner city of South Miami, Florida, while my father was locked away in the penitentiary. So for me, I started out with a situation where I had to find a way to be successful. I had to find a way to be my own man. And eventually through many trials and tribulations, I figured some things out for myself. And so with that background, that really inspired me to want to become successful as I got older. And then I put in a lot of work over the years. And in college, I discovered internet marketing. I got into it. And when I did internet marketing, I started making money. I started creating success. And then I did a seminar. At that seminar, there was a student there. He had an idea called BannaMilk. I was like, man, BannaMilk, that's going to blow up and be big one day, man. I'm in to help you. I'll help you with that. And so we decided to partner up. They gave me founding equity in the company. I became a co-founder of that company and literally helped that company go from an idea as college students in our dorm rooms. So we went out and we actually raised over $2 million in startup capital for that business. And we were able to grow that business into over 4,000 retail stores in the commercial market. And on top of that greatness, we were even able to take that business and actually exit that company. So that's a little bit about my background. And with that experience, I decided to start coaching and teaching and training other people on how to create their own products and services like we've been able to do. And with that, it's led me to be able to help a lot of people around the world, to be able to travel the world. And that's just a little bit about my background. I don't want to go too deep into it because there's more to share, but that's just a little bit about me.
Wow. I tell you, that is amazing. Of course, Florida boy, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida too. Duval,
hey,
but you know how we do it. We love Florida. And so,
yes, sir.
Man, awesome work you've done, man. I'm excited about it, man. And what really got my attention was the BannaMilk. I must profess, I don't like bananas, but I specifically grew up around my grandmother, my aunt, my mom. They cut bananas up in their frosted flakes. So I remember that for years. But the name caught my attention. And then when I started seeing that you were getting products into companies, it caught my attention as well, because I've done mostly retail. Well, I did retail for years. I started out in shopping centers, so I know retail around real estate. And I know how important it is to have products and for stores to have revenue. That's really the key to paying the lease on commercial real estate. So that's awesome. Tell me about how that all happened. Tell me what specifically about what you do in getting products and how that process works to getting products into the store and what you do.
Absolutely. So I'll start with a bit of my background, because I feel like that'll give the audience and those of you listening more value from today's session. So I actually got started. I was playing basketball in college, and I thought I was going to the NBA. And after 2 knee surgeries, I realized something. I needed to find another way to be successful. So that's when I started to find, search for other ways to be successful. And I discovered internet marketing. Well, I started in my college dorm rooms, and I was making money online from my dorm rooms. And then I realized something, man, I can help other people with this. So I started offering services, and I actually decided to go out there and deliver my own seminar to other college students to teach them what I was doing to make money online as a college student. At that seminar, about 100 students attended. And in the audience was a man, well, another student rather, who had an idea called BannaMilk. And I was like, man, that doesn't exist. That's going to blow up and be big. I'm in to help you. I can help you with that. So they decided after negotiations to allow me to come on board. And I was awarded with equity in the startup business and also the position of a co-founder in that company. Well, when I came on board, I literally helped them like formulate everything from the elevator pitch to some of the marketing strategies, helping with the process of sourcing suppliers, working with manufacturers, working with distributors, and all of these things to take the startup from what it was in order to be able to launch commercially into the marketplace. Well, after raising about $750,000 in initial investment capital from friends and family, as well as angel investors, we were able to go out into the marketplace in 2016 and launch our product commercially. In that process of launching commercially, we went to Whole Foods grocery store, and we tried over and over and over and over for literally almost 2.5 years to try to get into Whole Foods grocery store. Well, by the time we had a commercial product ready to go, they noticed that we've been trying for 2.5 years to get in their stores, right? So by the time we launched our product commercially, they were ready to test our product out. And at that point in time, we got into our first 27 stores in the state of Florida in 2016. We had tremendous success. The product was not able to stay on the shelf. We kept selling out and selling out and selling out. And before you know it, other stores caught attention to what we were doing. And Walmart actually reached out to us and asked us if they could buy our product. Now, if you know anything about retail, Walmart, they're gonna tell you what they're gonna pay, and that's pretty much it, how the deal goes.
Yeah.
But in our situation, we had a unique case where they were like, hey, look, this is an innovative product, like it doesn't exist anywhere else, and we want it. So we're willing to work with you guys on the pricing, which was it's not very common, if you will, when dealing with Walmart.
Absolutely.
But when that took place, yes, it's not, absolutely. So when that took place, that actually got us into a few Walmart stores. And the product was able to move successfully. It began to sell out of Walmart stores, and after that, momentum kicked in, and other stores took notice and they started ordering. And before you know it, it became history. It became history. And so that's a little bit about what got us started. And the process of getting into retail, that's not easy. I'll be honest with you, it's not easy if you don't know what you're doing. We didn't know what we were doing, so for us, it was very challenging. But once we got the hang of it and we figured out, oh, you need to talk to this person. You need to tell them this. You need to have this information available. Oh, this is what you need. This is what they're looking for. Okay. And once we got that information down, it became a simple process of using that information, reaching out to the specific people, and we were able to get product in more stores and more stores and more stores. And eventually the momentum picked up where we built a team, we grew our team, and we even put a management team in place to run and operate that business while we were able to go out and do other things with our lives. So that's a little bit about that process, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So tell me, let's talk time frame, because in this world of make it, get it out there, and you're wealthy and successful tomorrow, let's talk about your time frame from getting this thing started, because that's where the meat is at. We such an impatient society, and in the real world, it don't really work like that, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So we got started with the business in 2013. However, my business partner had the idea way back in, I think maybe like 2000 and 2008 or 2009. That's when he had the idea, because his grandmother used to make it for him when he was a child, but nobody was carrying it in stores. So he wanted to take grandma's juice and put it out there into the commercial markets. So getting started in 2013, that's when we registered the company on our college campus as college students. We actually got our product in stores. It took about 3 years, right? So after 3 years, we finally launched and got our first commercial account. In 2017, that's when we actually went back to Walmart to renegotiate a deal to go nationwide. And then in 2021, we were able to actually exit that business. So from time to start to time to exit, it was about 8 years in total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely makes sense. And that's the reality side of it. So the product itself, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something, right? Because you mentioned something that's very important. With my coaching business that I also have, this is something I tell all our clients. I'm like, look, This is not something where you put it in a microwave, right? You put your idea in the microwave and it pops out as $1 million business in 10 minutes or like 3 minutes. It
Yeah.
doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to let you know it takes time. Now, whether that time is 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's totally up to you. You are the variable in the equation of success, okay? Success leaves clues. If you can follow the clues, then again, you are the variable. And it's just about, making sure that you follow other people that are successful, model success, and add your own flair into it. And look, just be patient and don't be focused so much on the results. Enjoy the process, because in the process, that's where you learn the lessons. That's where you have the fun. That's where you go through the challenges that make you grow. That's where you become a greater person than you are today. So enjoy the process, be patient, put the time into it, put the energy and effort into it. And look, if it takes you 5 years, if it takes you 10 years, if it takes you 15 years, when that time is over, you're going to be able to live a life like no one else around you will be able to live. So it's worth putting the time into it. And just, that whole microwave thing where you overnight millions, just get that out of your head. Because I don't know if that's real. It hasn't happened for me. And I'm telling you from my experience that it's better to be patient and put the time in for success.
Yeah, absolutely. Great information in the mantle I stand on, especially around real estate. You can do a real estate deal pretty quick, but what people don't understand, you got to get some profits and reinvest. You ain't gonna just be wealthy all of a sudden. Nothing really works like that. So I'm glad you said that and shared that. So talk a little bit about product placement and what that is, the process itself. Pretty familiar with supply chain. I've studied, I've had owned different parts of it, so I understand the movement of goods. But the product side of it is a whole thing that I'm not familiar with, how that process goes to kind of get it from idea to now I got something, and it may and may not sell in the open market.
Absolutely. So the first thing I'll begin with is whenever you have a product or something that you want to create, the most important thing that you need to make sure that you have is supply. Now, supply involves the content that goes inside of the product, and that also involves the paper, the packaging, the bottle, the wrap, the sheet, like whatever it is that you have to present the product commercially. These are involved in the supply, right? So we've got to have a supply. Now that means sourcing it from a farmer, right? If you're talking about some form of an agricultural ingredient, that means sourcing it from an electronics company. If you have an electronic retail product, so whatever your product is, you got to have that supply, because if you don't have the supply, you won't be able to sell and meet the demands of the market. So that's the first thing, is having that supply. The next thing is that, like, when it comes to the packaging is extremely important, because that's the first thing a person sees. So whatever they see about that packaging, they're going to perceive that your brand or the content inside matches that packaging. So if your packaging is poor, but you have a great product inside, people are going to think it's a poor product because of the packaging, right? Yeah. If you have a great packaging, but it's a poor product, people are going to think it's great, even though they drink it, like, oh, this is not that good. Wow. What is this? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, but like that's a big part of it, is the perception, and the packaging is really, really important. So once you move beyond sourcing the supply, designing and developing, eye-catching packaging that's going to catch people's attention, the next thing is, where are you going to place the product in the shelves? And now this is where you must be very strategic, because when you walk into a retail store, there's many different shelves, right? There's a bottom shelf that's kind of close to your ankle. There's a shelf above that that's maybe like at the knee level, if you will. A shelf above that maybe at the hip level. A shelf above that that's maybe at the your let's say your lower shoulder muscle, right? Lower shoulder area right there. And then there's even one that's probably eye level. Most times it's eye level for most people. There's one that's usually just above your head, and there's probably either one or two more above that, right? Yeah. So when we talk about placement on those retail shelves, understand it's like real estate, and they're not building new shelves in most stores. So whatever shelves you see, that's all the real estate available. So what happens is that based on the placement of your product, that can either benefit your sales or hurt your sales. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say you sell toys, right? So you sell these toys in the retail store, and you know that the people buying toys are normally children. So it would not be a very smart idea to put those toys on the top shelf.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because how are the kids gonna see them? They can't see them. But if you position that toy on the bottom shelf and the kid walks by, they're like, "Ooh, mommy, look at the toy, look at the toy." And you know what I mean? Because of the placement of the product, that product can be visible to that target customer. And so, for example, if you are, if you have a product that's catered towards, it's catered towards moms, right? Let's just say, for example, it's a beverage product or a snack product that's catered towards moms. A better place, rather than to have it at that bottom shelf where the mom can't see it, it's better to have it where it's more eye level, right? So the mom who's walking by, she's scrolling her head, looking, she can immediately see it because it's eye level, and she can go check that product out. So like that's something very small and minute, plays a major role in terms of the attention and visibility of your product in the retail shelf, in the retail stores, right? And the placement. Another thing that most people don't really know is that when you have product available in stores, nobody's going to know about it if there's no awareness about it, right? So when we talk about placement, one thing that's really important is having marketing teams and demonstrations and samples where people can sample the product and test it out. And then once they sample and test the product, someone actually points them to where the product is placed at on the shelf. Yeah. This is something that's really important. And a lot of companies that don't succeed in retail, they don't do this. They don't sample. They don't, allow people to test the product, especially if they're a newer brand, if you will. And when people don't know about it, they don't test it, they don't taste it, they don't buy it. And when they don't buy it, that product, when they do, so every 6 months, most stores do like a shelf reset, a store reset, where whatever's not selling, they get it off the shelf. Whatever is selling, they add another spot or 2 spots so it can sell more. So most of those companies that don't succeed in retail, they don't do things like focus on the product placement and focus on the demonstrations to let people sample the product and then direct them to where the product is placed on the shelf. So, that's just a little bit about product placement. There's so much more that goes into it. But again, we don't have time today, but I just wanted to definitely share some tips today.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about systems now. As I understand it, certain products sell better at certain stores in certain demographics. So I know demographic research goes with this as well. So tell us a little bit about how you kind of choose your stores and how your product, what market your product focuses on, and then how does that go into how to place it in the right stores. So outside of physical location inside the stores, what about the decision making around demographics and who your product is focused on, or who's your target market for it?
Yes, sir. So you asked a couple of different questions. I'm just going to do my best to answer them based on what I remember you asking. So the first thing I'll say is that the number one thing of it all is the customer. Like who's the consumer? Who's consuming this product? That's going to determine what stores you try to go into, what events you try to go to, what areas, what neighborhoods, what cities, what states. All of that is important. And it all goes back to the customer avatar. So for us, this is our product right here, BannaWave Bannamilk. You guys can check that on out. Bam, there it is. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with this product, right? This is the core of this product is bananas. It's about 25% bananas, so that's the majority of what's inside of the product. We had to ask ourselves, which demographic of people love bananas? And after doing so much research, we found out there's a lot of people that love bananas. But then we had to ask ourselves, who, of these people, which ones buy bananas the most? And we actually discovered that normally it's between the age ranges of about 25 to 44. Okay, Hispanic mothers, usually in a household of 3 to 4 people. It's not coming to me right now, but like we have like the median salary and an average earning income for how much that person earns. So we actually like really detailed and describe who this person is, right? And then once we figured that out, then we went and targeted the areas that had the highest concentration of this demographic, which is why starting in Florida, I don't know if you know, but Florida, well, you do know because you from Duval, but Florida has a huge population of Latinos. So for us, it was an ideal place, either Florida or California. But because the reality is that, that's where we met, and, Florida has a huge market there, we decided to start there. And in terms of targeting the stores and how to figure that part out, so what we did was we had to do research. Okay, which stores have the highest amount of our target demographic? Because some stores, let's say for example, like Payless, right? If you go to Payless, you'll find people there that don't really have a huge amount of extra spending money, right? They don't have they maybe don't have a and I'm not trying to judge anybody because look, I shopped at Payless when I was growing up, so ain't nothing wrong with it, people. But you know, you have to like look at, okay, who's the person that's coming into this specific store and purchasing products? But then if you look at another store, like let's say Nordstrom's, right? More of a higher end type of store. Okay, those people, they have a different level of spending income. And so because they're in a different spending bracket, they can go out there and buy more product. So you have to take a look at that. And when we took a look at the demographics, we recognized that Whole Foods grocery store had not only our top demographic, but they have all the other demographics of people that are spending, you know, high ticket money, and they're willing to spend high ticket on a beverage product, right? Because our competitors sell for about $2.39. This product, our manufacturer suggested retail price goes anywhere from $3.99 to about $5.99.
Wow.
And Whole Foods came out the gate at $5.99. You know what I mean? Like some stores were at $6.49, and people it was selling out. They couldn't keep it on the shelves. You see what I'm saying? So that's how important it is to know your demographic, know where are they going and where are they shopping, and then placing your product in front of those people so they can just pick it up and buy it because they're already interested in this specific thing. So you know, that goes to show demographics and all of that research plays a big part. And I hope I answered all your questions. I think there's something else I'm missing.
Yeah, that is great. Okay. I wanted people to get a general idea of, because me from a real estate standpoint, there's a reason why McDonald's is on the corner, Walgreens, CVS are on corners. It's a reason why they're on the morning side. Certain stores on the morning side are going home side, and it works exactly like that for product placement. You said that the grocery store is real estate. So
yes, sir.
The right locations are the right locations. But then outside of that, that's why you see certain retail stores in the locations that they are based on the demographics, and your products mirror that. And so I wanted people to get an idea of all of this stuff is about user and how people use and how people operate and think. And you're just using your mindset to understand, just look at what you do. And you can, you know, that's how everything really, really works, and it works in product placement. So tell us about the opportunities to build wealth in product placement.
Absolutely. So the opportunities are literally endless when it comes to product placement, because there's an infinite number of products that you can create and come up with. And even if you come up with one product and it becomes a hit, you can create multiple variations of that product. So for example, right, we had our BannaWave Bannamilk. This product was an absolute hit, but we knew that we had to follow up with something else. You know, I'm a big music fan. I love music, you know, hip hop, reggae, EDM, all of that, man. I just love music, even rock and roll, all of that, everything. I love all music. But the thing is, when the new artist comes out and they drop a great song, right, and it hits the top of the charts, everybody's sitting like, okay, what are they gonna do next? What song they coming out with next? What's the next album, right? So we already saw that. We already saw that coming. And so what we decided to do is, with this product, once it became successful, we were going to drop the next one, and then the next one, and another one, and another one. And so we ended up dropping about 5 different variations of this product with 2 different sizes. So we have the original. We got the chocolate, the mango, the strawberry, and the unsweetened for those who are, you know, want less sugar, if you will. And so we have the 32 ounce, and we got the 8 ounces as well. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, like, the possibilities are endless. And this is just one type of product. Now, I got some other ones that I have in mind. We got some other ones we're working on now behind the scenes. And I'm just letting you know, like, the possibilities are literally endless. It's about your creativity and how willing you are to see it all the way through to the end. In terms of being able to generate significant capital, you know, one of the things that most people don't know is that when you sell like 1 or 2 units of a thing, you only make profit on 1 or 2 units, right? And that can be kind of small, especially if you're selling a $5, $10 product.
Yeah.
However, if you were to take that same product and rather than selling it one by one, right, you sell it in bulk. So instead of selling one unit, you take a case that may have 6 units or 12 units, and you put, let's say, 75 cases on one pallet of product, and
Yeah.
then you sell 5 pallets of product to one store, and they buy 5 pallets this month, and then they
Yeah.
buy 5 pallets next month, and then they buy 6 pallets next month, and then 10. Oh man, the possibilities are literally endless. And if you can think big like that and think
Yeah.
about selling your products in bulk to large retail stores, online retail stores, even event companies, convenience stores, gas stations, drug stores, okay, pharmacies. If you can
Yeah.
think bigger, then you can literally, the possibility is endless. It's just about how creative you are, and how much you desire to go out there and get it, right? Like those are the things that I would say. And one
Yeah.
thing to keep in mind is that, our business, we didn't become profitable until like almost going into year 4, right? So out of 8 years, the first 4 years we were negative, and it was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But once we became profitable, things became better, and the rest is history, so to speak. So what I'll say is that when it comes to being able to generate wealth with retail, it's really about reinvesting your profits. You want to reinvest as much as you can, as fast as you can, so that way you can get more return, right? And the more return you get, you invest more, and then you keep growing. And eventually you get to the point where the business takes care of all of your living expenses and more. And then you can, it takes care of the team's living expenses, and you can literally scale that business up, and it'll be able to profit and, just run itself in terms of profits. Like it'll be able to grow, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge. And sometimes we get away, we don't even understand. I mean, you got all of these Publix, Walmart, Whole Foods across the country, and when you get distribution
Mm-hmm.
like that, product moves, and you can certainly say it takes some time. You got to have some patience to do it, but you can eventually do it or get your product in there and then produce more. But then also that's your track record of getting products into stores. And that's a big track record when you can get before retailers and say, I've done this. No different than, I know it's a lot of it's produced, but it's the questions they ask on Shark Tank all the time, right? What have you sold now at this point? Why should I invest, right? And so,
Yes,
so tell us a little bit about the process of, I know you talked about it a little bit beforehand, but what it takes to kind of get it into the store or go through the process. And I know some of it's proprietary, you got your coaching, but give us enough for people to say, okay, I'm going to look for Michael Baptiste to join his coaching program and get this great idea, this product. I've been a Big Mama's recipe. I want to get into the store. Tell us about what they really need to know to get moving forward and what it's going to take.
Absolutely. So if it's okay with you, I would like to over deliver on this question, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Go on.
All right, beautiful. So I literally just did a webinar tonight. We had almost 100 people sign up for it. And on that training, I revealed the 7 pillars that we went through. So I'm gonna give them to you right now so that at least you know them in a short amount of time, and then you can make a decision from there. So the first pillar is you need to have supply. Again, goes back to what I said before. Raw materials, bananas, oats, the farmers, you need to connect with them. Paper, packaging, so that way you have commercial ready product, right? So these things are important. The next thing is that you need to have a way to manufacture that product. I do not recommend cooking it in your kitchen and like trying to sell it to the store. I don't recommend that. Don't do it. Please don't make that mistake. Don't just, you need to have a commercial grade manufacturer in place that can produce your product at scale, that already has the FDA approvals. They have the GMO, they're GMO certified, non-GMO certified, right? And they have all of these different certifications in their facility. This is going to save you time. So you don't have to build a manufacturing plant yourself. Do not do that. We thought we had to do it, and it was a big mistake. So if you find a manufacturer, outsource to them so they can make your product at commercial scale. The next thing that you're going to need in this process, you're going to need to be able to pick that product up from the manufacturing facility and you will need to store it somewhere. So that means you're going to need to have shipping and warehousing taken care of and established. This means you need to have either relationships with these types of companies or reach out to them and find them, so that way you can hire them to do the shipping of your products to your warehouse, and you can store the products in your warehouse safely and securely. Now, once you have the products in your warehouse and you're ready to rock and roll, then comes the next step of actually finding people to distribute your product. Because the thing is, retail stores, even if they like your product, they're not going to buy from you. Yeah. I know it's like, wait, huh? What do you mean? No. They're not going to buy from you. The reason why is because, look, you might oversleep. Okay, you might have a small van. You may not have enough, leg room in the van to deliver product. You may be late. There's all types of things that can go wrong. So rather than putting that responsibility on you, they prefer to order from a distributor, because a distributor, they're professional. They have trucks, they have vans, right? They know how to lift things up. They got dollies and pallets, and they know all that stuff. And they're in business specifically picking product up, delivering it to someone else, and driving back and forth, doing that every day, all day. So they would rather go with a trusted source, such as the distributor, right? So that means you need to have a distributor that you work with, or multiple distributors that you work with, and where you're part of their network as well, okay? So the next thing, after you got that distributor, then you need to start reaching out to retail stores. Now, this is important because the retail stores, if they don't know about your product, how can they possibly be interested in buying it? There's a specific process we go through, and I walk my clients through. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I'm just telling you what to do in this moment. Once you get the retailers interested in your product, and they say yes, they're going to buy your product from the distributor. When they buy your product from the distributor, then the distributor is going to buy it from you and pick it up from your warehouse. They're going to take it to either their warehouse or take it from your warehouse to the retailer's warehouse or storage facility. Okay. Once you move past this process, then it comes to consumers. Right now, these are the people that walk into the store. You and me, we walk. Well, whoa, what is in here today? Right? Like those people that buy product. It comes the next process of making sure that we fulfill those consumers, create awareness in the minds of those consumers, so that way they can go into the stores and buy the product. Which means that in order to create that awareness for the consumers that we're going to focus on, then we must focus on marketing and advertising. A lot of companies don't do this. They think, oh, once I'm in a store, I'm good. But then 6 months later, the company's like, hey, your product's not selling. We're gonna do a chargeback, okay, and give you your product back and get our money back because this thing's not selling. Yeah. So rather than having that happen, marketing and advertising is an absolutely crucial piece of the system. And when you put all of these 7 together, let me just break them down again. Supplier, okay, commercial manufacturer, shipping and warehousing, distributors, retailers, the consumers, and marketing and advertising to make the whole system work. These are absolutely critical. And when you do this long enough, the next part of it is, which is the 8th thing, is you need to have an exit plan. Whether that's sell the business, merge with another company, hire a new CEO so they can run and take over the company, or if it's just dissolve the business and end the business. Like whatever your exit strategy is, you must have an exit strategy. A lot of investors that we talked to, they were attracted to what we were doing because we had an exit strategy in place. And so, for those of you who are out there listening, think about an exit strategy. Like, do you really want to be doing this business for the next 80, 90 years? Or would you rather, do it and then do something else and then start a new business and then do something else later, start a new business, right? Like yourself, Dorian, you're not just a real estate guy, man. You got commercial real estate, you got investments, you got other things going on. You got properties here, properties there. Like you're doing multiple things. And I'm certain you're going to continue to expand and evolve as you keep going in your career. So as most of us want to evolve, I just recommend having an exit strategy, because it's so much you can do in life. Once you know the blueprint and the strategy for how to get products out there, you can create so many more products. Like it's unlimited. It's you are the limit, if you will.
Yeah, and
so that's the process.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm about to turn 52, and I thought for sure I was going to be running businesses forever, but that is no longer the strategy. The strategy, and when I'm effectively doing it now, is acquiring businesses that are already in place. And I too have learned, even I got a master's degree in supply chain, but I've owned a trucking company. So I've studied the whole supply chain, and people don't quite understand these products. You don't see the in between. You see it on a train, and then you see it on an Amazon or UPS truck, but there's a lot of in between, to get stuff from manufacturer And even before that, the creative part about it, and then the systems in place in between. So thanks for explaining that, because people think sometimes it's just you snap your fingers and you got all of these things together, but you're dealing with multiple companies throughout the supply chain that really join together but are independent operators. And it's like music, being able to put all that together. So you definitely need a service like you have, because people have ideas, great ideas, and they just need some coaching to get that up and running. So great.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love that. Love the ideas around it. Let's talk about one more thing that I think is pretty we want to talk about that's important, is let's talk about margins. I know we talk about multiple stores and having your products and pallets, and we all have heard, or most people heard, that the margins for grocery stores are very thin. And so let's talk about margins for your product and kind of where they need to be. And I know it varies from product to product, but percentage wise, what should we be looking at for it to make sense, or just give us a good idea of what that looks like?
Absolutely. So when it comes to your product and pricing your product, let me just start with this. You must have multiple tiers of pricing for your business to thrive. Let me break that down. When I say tiers, like, you got to have a product. So you're going to pay to produce your product. If it's $1.50, 25 cents, 30, whatever the cost is, you have a cost. You must factor in to your pricing how much do I need to sell this product for in order to profit? Okay. So if you made the product for 50 cents, you sell it for $1, that means you just profited 50 cents. Okay. That's the first pricing structure, to keep it simple. The second pricing structure you must have in place, or second tier, is a tier for distributors, because these people are selling the product. They need to make something too. And if they're making nothing, they're not going to sell nothing. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
So if you sell it to them for $1, right, and they resell it for $1.50, that means they just made 50 cents on that product. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the second tier. The third tier is a tier for retailers. Now, this is a tier where the distributor is gonna sell it to them. Boom. Now they own it. They have it. It's theirs, in their possession, and they're gonna resell it to their end consumers. Okay. So you need to build a pricing structure in place, so that way, let's say the retailer buys it from the distributor for $1.50. They're gonna upsell that product. Well, they're gonna resell that product for $2.50. So they make $1 off of every single unit of product sold. So if we go back to the beginning again, you pay 50 cents to get it made. You sold it to the distributor for $1. They bought it from you for $1. The distributor takes it, this product that they bought for $1, they resell it for $1.50. Now they made 50 cents, you made 50 cents, and now they're gonna take it and resell it to their clients. The retail stores, they bought it, bam. They now bought it for $1.50. They're going to resell it to their end consumers for $1, for $2.50. They made $1, right? So you made 50 cents, the distributor made 50 cents, the retailer makes $1. That's just a simple breakdown of it.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to specific numbers, you should look to have your margins anywhere from about, to really keep yourself in business, man, I would say maybe 35% should be the lowest, maybe even 38%. And then you want to go up to as high as 45%. Anytime you go beyond 45%, you could be killing the other people's profits, right? Yeah. Because if you are selling it for 60% profit margin, then that means that the distributor can only make like 5 cents or maybe even less. So what you want to do is you want to have that in place for yourself. For the actual distributors, they want to make anywhere from about 25% to about 32%, maybe even 35%, right? And then when it comes to the retail stores, oh boy, now some of those guys are funny, man, because usually they want to do, I would say maybe anywhere from about 30 to 40, maybe even 45% profit margins. But sometimes, man, they'll upmark that thing up and they'll make 150% profit sometimes.
Wow.
Like, it's just the retailers, man. That's how they do, because they're in control. Right? They're the ones in control of the end consumers purchasing product. So sometimes they'll do that. But typically about 30 to 40, 45%, that's what the retailers are looking for in terms of profit margins on the products that they sell. So if you can structure that into your business any kind of way, then you'll put yourself in position to have healthy margins throughout the course of your business life. And you'll also put your partners, meaning your distributors and your retailers, you're going to put them in a position where they will be happy with their profit margins on your products as well.
Yeah, and that's cool. We definitely want to see people stay in business. And a lot of times people don't set their structure up, proper cost, allocated to products to make sure that they do stay in business. So, man, I just want to thank you. Those are, I mean, I learned a lot today because, you know, even though you know supply chain, there's always pieces you never see when you look. I'm a big picture guy, so I understand the end to end, but I like to get down to the nitty gritty, and that manufacturer creative side is pretty interesting to me. It ain't what I do, but I like to recognize businesses out there that do it well so I can maybe invest in them, right? But so let's talk about your goals going forward. What's next for Michael Baptiste going forward? And I know you live out of the country. A lot of people don't know that. That's why it's probably what time is it there now?
Oh, it's 7:49 p.m. here on a Tuesday night.
I got it.
So I'm in the future. I'm
another
in the
day. So so what's next?
Yes, sir. So what's next for me is we're launching this. We launched the coaching program. We did a soft launch so far, and we will probably do a larger launch to raise the awareness in the marketplace to more people, so that way they can learn what we did to innovate and create a new product category in the non-dairy milk alternative market. And with that, we're gonna take this coaching program, and the goal is to help as many people as possible. In my mind, I'm seeing us being able to reach at least 10,000 people with this program. You know, we get there in a short time, a long time, it doesn't matter, because for me, it's about the impact that I get to make with my legacy here on planet Earth. So that's one thing that's up next. We do have another beverage product we're working on with another partner of mine, and that's something exciting. I'm not going to reveal the details yet because it's an innovative product, and if I tell it, people are going to copy it all because they copied us in the last one. So I'm just going to say we got another beverage product coming. Outside of that, I'm also working on my own fitness brand. So it's a combination of fitness, wellness, and also basketball, so athletics. Because I played professional basketball in Thailand, I became one of the leading scorers. Actually, I became the #1 leading scorer and #1 leading rebounder, and I was the first one in the Thailand Professional Basketball League in 2019 to achieve that award. So because of that, I've been able to develop a name, or kind of a name through professional basketball here in Thailand. So I'm going to pursue, like I said, creating my own wellness, fitness, and athletics brand combined with a bit of inspiration and motivation. It's going to be something innovative, something that's something I think that the world needs, because it doesn't exist right now. So that's something I'm working on, and with the intention to, of course, start online first, but we will eventually get into retail stores in America. We'll eventually get into retail stores in Thailand. We'll also expand into other countries through some of the connections, the network that I have. That's something that that's on the horizon, if you will. With that, we'll also be bringing in supplements. So we'll have our own supplements, possibly even some coffee and some other cool things coming on the back end of that. And so beyond that, what else will I have lined up? Just pursue a lot of the passions that I had as a kid. Yeah. You know, growing up, inner city, big dreams. I dreamed of becoming a rap star, and I dreamed of playing professional basketball. So I played basketball already, but at some point in the future, man, I definitely will open back up my vocals.
Yeah, we're gonna see an album coming. I know it. I saw you two throwing some weights around. You and two other guys looked like they was muscles popping out of their forehead, and then they was egging you on. I see you throwing the weight. I know a lot coming. I know it's a bunch coming now.
Well, I'll also say this, because I'm a person who believes in dreaming, and I actually know how to go make my dreams a reality. So one of my dreams outside of playing professional basketball was to become a bodybuilder and actually win a championship in bodybuilding. So that's something that I'm pursuing that's one of my passions. It's not really something I'm going to be successful in business with, but it's one of my passions, just like basketball is a passion, and I became professional in that. So that's one of the next things up is becoming a professional in that sport, if you will, and using it as a way to inspire other people to take care of their health, take care of their wellness, and yeah, just to motivate people, man, and bring some positive light and positive energy into the world.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that any connection, anything that you do is an opportunity not only to help people, but help yourself. So you're making connections that sometimes you don't see. I mean, at this point, you know, some connections I'm reconnecting on people that were just an introduction years ago and now I'm working with. And so
Fantastic.
yeah, that's an awesome thing. So tell our audience how they can get a hold of you through social media, website, and that type of thing.
Absolutely. So if you are on social media, if you're on Facebook, you can find me and reach out to me. My Facebook is, so if you type in facebook.com/Mr. Michael Baptiste, you will find me. That is Mr. Michael Baptiste. And if you're on Instagram, you can follow me, Mike_Baptiste. And it's the same on TikTok, Mike_Baptiste. You're on TikTok as well. If you're on YouTube and you just type in Michael Baptiste, you should find me. It should come up. And if not, type in High Ticket Freedom, and you'll be able to find us on YouTube. We also have a free Facebook group where you can join our free Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com/groups/High Ticket Society, or you can type in the search tab, the High Ticket Society, and join our free Facebook group. We have that available as well. And if you'd like to get in touch with me to learn more about our coaching services, you can visit our website, highticketfreedom.com, to learn more about what we do there. We also offer a free training that gives free information about how to get started with your own online or high ticket business. And if you'd like to learn more about our retail coaching, right, you can visit the retailbusinessactivator.com to learn more about that program. And if you'd like to email me, you got questions, you can send me an email, okay, at our professional email address, info@highticketfreedom.com. Again, that is info@highticketfreedom.com. And again, make sure you go to our website. We give out a free training. We give away 2 free ebooks to help you begin your education with learning how to become your own entrepreneur and build a successful business and attract more clients to your business. So that's a little bit more about how you can find me online.
All right, Michael, thank you for joining us today. And, you know, we've pledged to do some more work together, so I'm looking forward to it.
Sir.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us today in this absolutely outstanding interview with Mr. Michael Baptiste. I'm Dorian Carter, the real estate wealth generator, and you can reach me in a couple of different places. Of course, I train in commercial real estate. I teach individuals how to build wealth while doing the things that you love, and I can be reached at workwithdorian.com. And of course, we do commercial real estate across the United States, where we acquire and invest in various types of real estate. And you can check me out on both of our websites, which is On Point Partners with an S and On Point with an E.com, or onpointcommercial.com. We'd love to work with you. We would love to work with folks that are pursuing wealth through commercial real estate. Thanks, folks, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.